The Horror, with your hostess with the most, Jenna Bell, as always. So it's gotta be Wednesday. We are doing a non-horror movie review today, and I have chosen for you guys to review Running on Empty from 1988, starring River Phoenix, Judd Hirsch, Martha Plimpton, and Christine Lahti. Sorry, I probably messed up the last name, but sorry, whatever. So I don't know how many of you have actually heard of this movie or have seen it. I could be surprised. More of you may have actually seen or heard of this movie. Just saying. But let's get on with the review. So this is, like I said, this came out in 1988. This is kind of like a nice little coming of age story and everything. Basically, what premise of this movie is focuses on this family here, the two parents, the sons, River Phoenix, and then there's a little brother and everything who's like 10. River Phoenix is a 17-year-old. Parents are these fugitives on the run. They're always kind of on the run, and they had actually like back in 1971 were responsible for blowing up like part of a university or something because of like different like political views and stuff, and you know, all that stuff. So kind of these little like little renegades and stuff who are just trying to make a difference, or in their minds trying to make difference and everything, and they're trying to make a statement. So this is, you know, kind of the hippie way of doing it. Like, you want change, you go in and you do it yourself. You don't wait for the government to do it. So they're always kind of like on the run. This family's always kind of on the run from the feds and everything. The kids, you know, this is kind of like the only life that they know and everything. And, you know, River Phoenix, like I said, is 17. You know, his character is definitely kind of getting to the point where he's just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I want a normal life. I want to go off to college, and, you know, and just like knowing like his, you know, parents, especially his father. You know, that's the other thing too. Like any other family, like any like kind of normal family, there's those typical, you know, conflicts and tensions and everything. You know, and I know he knows that his father is not going to be down for this, of, you know, letting him to like now just have like a normal life. You know, father's very concerned about the well-being of his sons. He's afraid that like, okay, well, if he's kind of like, if we let him go off in the real world, what if, you know, the feds catch him and like kind of hold him captive, or to like bait us to come and like turn ourselves in, you know, stuff like that. So there's those kind of like, you know, typical parent concerns and everything. I mean, the thing too is because I mean, the parents in this movie, I like that, you know, while, you know, raising their kids and, you know, always being on the run and stuff, they do really try to instill a lot of values in their kids, you know, basic like, you know, skills for life and everything, way to like think for yourself and everything, and make sure to always make like, you know, try and make a change in the world, you know, however you can do. So it's, you know, I like that, you know, that aspect of the parents and everything, and you know, and also too, River Phoenix's character, Danny actually, his character Danny, meets Martha Plimpton's character Lorna, and you know, there's a little love interest there. Like, you know, he's kind of experiencing love for the first time and everything. He doesn't really want to like, you know, get away from that or anything. You know, he for the first time in his life, he's feeling a lot of these emotions, strong connection towards someone. You know, really letting himself, you know, get to know someone and letting someone do the same with him, of getting to know him and everything. So it's just, you know, a lot of little like that like teenage love, that innocence and everything, that you really kind of see and you're really kind of rooting for him. It's like, you know, and at one point like they, the family ends up having to like leave town, and it's kind of like you're kind of like, oh, like you don't really want him to like leave his family, but at the same time, you know, he kind of seems to be adjusting well to this town and stuff, and people kind of caring about him and stuff. It just everything about the story in this movie is just great. I feel like any parent, can really kind of relate to this, minus like the fugitive aspect. I'm pretty sure most of you guys that watch me aren't like these fugitives. Maybe you are. Hey, I ain't judging you. I'm just saying. But you can really kind of like relate to the parents in a lot of ways. Even for me as an aunt, can kind of relate to letting your kid kind of be free and everything. Because essentially at the end, spoiler alert, the parents at the end do let Danny kind of stay behind, really have a normal life. Plus, two, he was accepted to go to the Juilliard because, like, he's a phenomenal pianist and everything. So, his parents are kind of like, you know what, like, go out and make a difference in the world. Like, we don't want to hold you down anymore. You had nothing to do with us being fugitives. Go out, make a difference, in the world with your music and everything, and hopefully you do a better job than us, hopefully do make change and everything. So just things like that, you feel that scene at the end, you do feel like, oh, like, sort of like, it's bittersweet because you're like, oh man, they're letting him go, but it's like, oh my God, he's all alone. Well, not necessarily all alone, because they, like, the mom did try to, like, set up different things where, like, her son could go stay with her father, his grandfather, and everything, and like, and she was explaining, like, look, I'm so sorry to her father, of like, look, I'm so sorry for all the pain and everything, and like, really no contact, I'm so sorry, like, I know I messed up, I wish things were different, but really, looking my son's, like, especially my oldest, like, he's getting at that age, would you please, let him stay with you, like, I'll do what I can, like, money-wise, to help out and everything, but, he's not responsible for my mistakes, for my husband and my mistakes and everything. I do have another son who's 10. Please just let me raise him, and then when he's old enough, where I know he'll be okay, would you please, take him in and everything. So little things like that, like, um, you know, just this movie is just so excellent. I love this movie. It's just, oh. And the other thing I really like about it is, obviously it's set in the 80s and everything, made in the 80s. But the kids, I just feel like, are very, like, everyone in this is just very real. It doesn't necessarily feel like an 80s movie. Like, it's not like one of those things where it's like every single image is like typical 80s, like big hair and, all this stuff, like big, elaborate, like, clothing or anything. It's just very kind of real and everything. I like it. So it works, it just works. I like it. So, but no, it's a great movie, guys. Like, if you are just kind of looking for something, something a little different, a good little coming of age story, definitely check this movie out. I highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, it's a great movie. Let me know what you guys think if you have seen this movie. Let me know what you think of the movie, some of the highlights of this movie that you really enjoyed. Till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.